The story begins with Si-yoon, a young girl who relies on a diary to live her daily life. Every night, she records every detail of her day. Every morning, she wakes up with no memories. After a tragic accident, she developed anterograde amnesia, causing her memory to reset every 24 hours. Her life has become a constant cycle of reading her notes just to remember who she is and what happened the day before. Only her parents and her best friend, Jae-min, know her secret. Today, Si-yoon gets ready for school and catches the bus. It's clear she's a head turner, yet she remains distant, wrapped in her own world. Suddenly, the driver slams on the brakes. Before she can lose her footing, Kim lunges forward and catches her by her hair. A weird, clumsy move, but it works. Caught off guard, Si-yoon stares at him in shock. Kim quickly fumbles an apology, explaining he never meant to startle her. Kim is a quiet, handsome boy who keeps to himself and doesn't have any friends. When he enters the classroom, he notices his classmate Dong cleaning his desk after some bullies spilled juice on him. Angered, Kim confronts the bullies and asks what they want from Dong. One of the bullies explains that if Kim asks Si-yoon out on a date, they will leave Dong alone. Confident that Si-yoon will reject him like she has others before, Kim agrees. To his surprise, Si-yoon accepts. She wants to try something new and sets 3 rules for their relationship. They shouldn't talk too much. No one at school should know about them, and neither of them should fall in love for real. Kim is taken aback, but he goes along with the rules since he is also single and has never been in a relationship before. After school, Si-yoon and Kim spend time together. Si-yoon keeps asking him questions, and every answer he gives, she writes down. Kim is surprised and asks why she does this. She explains that they just started dating, and she wants to remember everything about him. She asks about his likes, dislikes, favorite food, and favorite sport. Kim admits that he doesn't enjoy playing sports. Curious, Si-yoon asks why, and after a short pause, Kim reveals that he's afraid of sweating. She assumes he must be very particular about hygiene, unaware that Kim was born with a chronic heart condition and cannot do strenuous activity. After parting ways, we get a glimpse into Kim's life. He lives alone with his father, having lost his mother 5 years ago. The following day at school, Kim expects a warm welcome, but Si-yoon treats him like a total stranger, not saying a single word. However, just as he's about to give up, he finds her waiting at the school gate. When she asks where they're headed, Kim takes her to an arcade. They lose track of time playing games and sharing a meal. Si-yoon is so overwhelmed with happiness, she can barely contain it. But once she's home, the mystery deepens. She carefully writes down every single detail of their date, just so she can remember it the next day. The two continue to meet every day after school, a development that highly irritates Si-yoon's friend. Concerned, Jae-won confronts Kim and tells him to stay away from her, but he bluntly fires back, telling her to mind her own business. Instead of pulling apart, they grow even closer, even starting to study together, inside the school walls. During these quiet moments, Si-yoon draws sketches of Kim, cherishing every second they share. She later writes in her diary that she finally has a reason to look forward to each morning, simply because she knows Kim will be there to make her day special. Things take a sudden turn during a routine playground cleanup, when Kim catches a group of bullies picking on another student. He doesn't hesitate to step in, but he quickly finds himself outnumbered. Just then, Si-yoon calls out from a nearby window, warning the bullies that she's caught the whole thing on camera, and if she hands that footage to the police, they're toast. Panicked, the bullies bolt. Kim helps the injured boy and finds out his name is Park. And here's the kicker. It turns out Park actually has a massive crush on Si-yoon's best friend, Jae-min. Later, Kim heads home and whips up some of his mom's favorite dishes. He shares a meal with his dad and urges him to move on and start a new chapter. However, it's clear his father is still reeling from his wife's death and can't quite face the reality of Kim's heart condition. The next day, Kim asks Si-yoon out for the weekend, promising to take her to one of his all-time favorite spots. He packs a meal, and they head to a hill overlooking a lake. Kim opens up about his memories there, and as they talk, they grow closer than ever. By the end of the day, Si-yoon ends up falling asleep with her head resting on Kim's shoulder. The problem comes when Si-yoon wakes up. She is terrified, unsure of where she is or who Kim is. She asks him, "Who are you?" Kim notices that she's genuinely confused and tries to comfort her, but she looks at him with fear and quickly gets off the bus. Kim runs after her, thinking she's joking, but she's still scared and tells him she doesn't remember him. She walks away quickly and calls Jaemin, explaining what happened. Jaemin calms her down and advises her to return home. Meanwhile, Kim is left standing there in total shock, unable to process what's happening, until Jaemin calls him to explain Si-yoon's condition. Once Si-yoon is back home, she starts going through all the notes she wrote for Kim and reads her diary. She realizes just how close they were and feels a deep connection to him. Realizing how close she and Kim truly were, she begins to feel that she loves him, but she's still struggling to truly remember. Yet, she is frustrated because her memory has failed her. A sharp pain hits her heart as she feels a void, a sense that something vital is missing. Driven by these feelings, she decides to go out and meet Kim. At that moment, Kim tells her that while he doesn't know much about her illness, he knows one thing for sure. He loves spending time with her and wants to make her happy. They agree on a pact. She will stop saving notes on her phone about his discovery of her illness. They decide to continue their relationship naturally, as if he knows nothing at all. The next day, Kim meets Jaewon. He thanks her for revealing the truth to him and confesses that he loves Si-yoon and wants nothing more in this world than to make her happy. Jaewon asks him to take good care of her and never to hurt her. Later, Kim returns home and tells his father that he is in a relationship with a girl he loves. His father is overjoyed that his son is finally starting to live a normal, happy life. The next day, Kim, Si-yoon, Taehyun, and Jaemin all meet up and decide to go on a double date. They spend time cycling together and then head to the aquarium. Throughout the trip, Si-yoon can't stop taking photos of Kim with her phone, making her growing feelings for him very obvious to everyone. With great excitement, she tells them how much she has always wanted to see the penguins, but to her disappointment, they find the exhibit closed when they arrive. Later, Si-yoon goes for a walk on the beach with Kim to cheer up. They play in the water together, and in a tender moment, Kim teaches her how to tie her shoelaces. Suddenly, Si-yoon becomes upset. She is hit by the painful realization that she will wake up the next day having forgotten all these beautiful memories. However, Kim comforts her, promising that he will always stay by her side and ensure that every new day brings memories even more beautiful than the ones before. The next day, Kim decides to surprise her. He shows up wearing a full penguin costume, jumping around and acting silly just to make her laugh. The moment Si-yoon sees him, her face lights up. She quickly pulls out her phone, takes pictures with him, and even dances with him. In that moment, she feels something clearly. He would do anything, absolutely anything, just to see her happy. Later that night, she goes back home and records everything that happened in her notes, still overflowing with joy. But there's one thing that continues to bother her. When she wakes up the next morning, she won't remember any of it. The following day, Kim invites her to his father's studio. That's when we learn that his father used to be a famous photographer and a glass sculptor. As soon as they walk in, they're both amazed by the beautiful artwork on display. It turns out Jaemin has always been one of his biggest admirers. While they're there, Kim secretly makes a special necklace for Si-yoon. That night, his father smiles and tells him that Si-yoon is as bright as the moon, and that he truly chose well. He even says that if Kim's mother were still alive, she would have been so happy to hear about his relationship. Later, Kim stays up holding his mother's photos, quietly lost in thought. The next day at school, Jaemin tells him something worrying. Recently, Si-yoon has been avoiding sleep. She's scared that if she sleeps, she'll wake up having forgotten everything again. But this lack of rest is starting to affect her health. Kim promises he'll talk to her. It's obvious Si-yoon is exhausted. She hasn't slept properly in 2 days. That night, Kim searches online for information about her condition, hoping to find some kind of treatment. But what he finds breaks his heart. There's no real cure. The chances of full recovery are very slim. However, he does discover that in rare cases, some patients showed slight improvement through light memory exercises, simple attempts to recall small details from the previous day. The next day, he takes Si-yoon for a walk by the sea and tells her he has a surprise. He gives her the necklace he made. To his surprise, she made one for him too, but he notices she looks upset. She admits she hates the fact that no matter how beautiful their memories are, she'll just forget them. Kim gently tells her something important. She's not truly losing her memories. They're just buried. And if she tries, even a little, she might be able to bring them back. He explains that memories are like skills. Even if the mind forgets, the body sometimes remembers. For example, you know how to draw. Right, Si-yoon hesitates then tries. And to her surprise, she can still draw, even though she doesn't remember learning how. From that moment on, she starts practicing those small exercises, trying to recall tiny details each day. Later, Kim takes her on a cable car ride. While they're up high, she tells him she wants to go see the fireworks festival someday. And without hesitation, he promises he'll take her. That night, the four of them, Kim, Si-yoon, Tae-hun, and Jae-min, meet at the festival. They wander through the stalls, laughing and trying every kind of street food. Eventually, Jae-min and Tae-hun decide to give the couple some space. Kim takes Si-yoon on a boat, and as the fireworks begin to illuminate the sky, he takes her hand. He draws her close and promises that no matter how much time passes, he will always love her, and that she will always remember him in her heart, even if her mind forgets. A year passes. Si-yoon wakes up as usual, but there is no trace of Kim in her life. She goes to school, sits with Jae-min and Tae-hun, and follows her routine. After school, she visits her doctor while listening to Kim's favorite song and tying her shoes exactly the way he once taught her. Even though she has no memory of him, the doctor assures her that she is gradually recovering and that her memory exercises have helped tremendously. Yet, Si-yoon feels that something is fundamentally wrong. She feels a lingering void, especially since she finds herself constantly drawing sketches of a mysterious young man whose name or identity she cannot recall. When she confides in Jaewon, her friend listens with a heavy, aching heart. The truth is revealed. Kim is gone. Before he passed away, Kim met with Jaewon and revealed that he had a severe, deteriorating heart condition. Knowing his time was limited, he made a heartbreaking request. If anything happened to him, she must erase every trace of him from Si-yoon's life. He didn't want Si-yoon to live her life in the shadow of grief. Shocked, Si-yoon begins to remember the very first time she met Kim at the hospital, how she had admired his name and written it down. She goes through all their shared memories, crying as she realizes she had forgotten the person she loved so deeply. Later, she visits his father, who has decided to move away. He tells her that Kim had left her a gift before he passed, a medal she had made for him, and it turns out Kim had kept it all this time. He advises her to overcome her grief and try to live her life, telling her that her laughter was the only thing that made Kim truly happy. In the end, Si-yoon visits all the places she shared with Kim, crying over the loss of her beloved and remembering all the moments they had together. The story of Si-yoon and Kim teaches us that love isn't just memories in the mind. It's a mark in the heart that never truly fades. Si-yoon didn't remember Kim, yet his face remained perfectly engraved in her soul. Her hand kept drawing him in every detail, even though she didn't know his name. This proves that memories may fade, but love can turn into an instinct that lives within us, carved into our souls forever. If you were in Kim's place, would you choose to be erased from the memory of the one you love so they wouldn't suffer? Or is the pain easier than being forgotten? Write your opinion in the comments, and join us for a new story. Bye.